Hey, so you've been on YouTube for quite a while, don't you? How things are going?
I think I'm doing pretty fine. I got a couple of subscribers now. I got 8.
Wait, you mean 8 subscribers? After 6 months? Wait man, you gotta do something. I need that fucking YouTube money.
You need YouTube money, but for what?
For, reasons. Anyway, just give me the laptop, I will write you something that will get you 1,000 fucking views in no time.
Wait, you got a secret to get thousands of views on YouTube? How do you do that?
By attacking the most violent community you can find on the internet. Anime fans. You're going to stand for something hopeless by definition. And I exactly know what it is.
Okay, if you say so, I guess I don't have a choice for the sake of the views and the YouTube money.
Oh man, you're going to do it slowly and painlessly. Or else... Yo, salut tout le monde! Today we're going to talk about... yeah, live adaptation movie, that's right. So Bleach has ended a couple months ago and with it came actually the promise of a live adaptation movie. Well, I think we all expected the second start of the anime, but is that really a bad piece of news? So I could see that live adaptation movies were actually heavily criticized among the anime community, and since I was kind of new to this medium, I just decided to see it for myself if it was as bad as everyone was saying. So for this video I actually took 3 examples. So one, I'm a big fanboy, I've read the manga, I watched the anime. This is Rurouni Kenshin. The second, I just pretty much read the manga and I'm still reading it, but I haven't watched the anime whatsoever, so it is the movie Attack on Titans. And the third one, which is Lupin the Third, and I've pretty much seen just a couple of anime episodes, just for having like a vague idea of the story. And overall, I could actually say that I pretty much enjoyed the 3 of them. What? You enjoyed my crappy adaptation on Attack on Titan? Your opinion is invalid, sir. Antaka baka desu. Whoa, dude, just calm down and just listen to me. I will admit that the scenario on this movie is actually a bit wacky. At some point I thought one of the characters was dead, but in fact she wasn't, because she appeared like 2 minutes after that. But I actually seen way worse. I actually found that some ideas were pretty interesting, like changing the whole settings of the story, such as, like, you probably already know, Attack on Titan as a medieval, mid-Renaissance era setting, and in the movie it was like more of a modern setting. We could see a helicopter remnants at some point. Also making the disciplinary squad wearing Nazi-like uniforms, you know, with wristbands and black suits and whatever, was actually, I thought, a pretty good idea, because for the audience it allows them to just, from one look, understand that these guys are the bad guys. So props to the producers for that. Now it is true that the live adaptation took actually huge liberties with the source material, such as like the baby titans and the different settings as well, the Levi stuff, like the character who is not quite Levi but pretty much similar to it. And you can blame this on the movie, but personally I think it's okay, because I don't go to see an adaptation of a book or a manga and check like everything that is different from the source material. I did this as a kid with books like Harry Potter and The Lord of the Rings, and I pretty much grew up tired of it as I grew older, so I don't do it anymore and just enjoy the things that are given to me. Now let's just talk about After Effects and all. Overall, I thought that both Attack on Titans and Kenshin suffer from bad realization, although for Attack on Titans it kind of works for it, because the Titans are so horrible that it actually makes them creepier than the source manga, which is good actually for the movie. But for Kenshin, I remember a scene where there's a boat coming off of the horizon and you can clearly see that this was added on the After Effects. But for me it was okay, because it kind of reminds me of like old Godzilla's movies, and for a Japanese production I think pretty interesting anyway. It's like maybe a hidden reference or something, even though I know it wasn't the case here, but still it was pretty much laughable. But I think for this aspect the problem lies elsewhere. I think it's because of funding. Both for Attack on Titans and Kenshin, the funding was pretty much close to $30 million. And if we compare to recent American blockbusters that just came out, like Batman, maybe one Batman The Dark Knight Rises, and just maybe 1 month, and like the Thor movie. Both movies are the fund of $150 million, so it's like 5 times the funding of Attack on Titans. If we take the inflation into account, we will have to go as far as 1979 with the movie Alien to find such low funding for an American movie. Another complaint I've also seen is that the character design is very, very different from the source material. So one thing maybe I think it's worth mentioning is that in animes and cartoons and whatever not real fictional work, pretty much everyone is overacting actually, and it's very difficult to render that on the movie scales with real actors and stuff. So for Kenshin, for instance, they actually made it a lot darker than the original source material. If you're familiar with this series, which I highly recommend by the way, you will find that the Kenshin in the movie is very actually similar to the old Kenshin before, or well actually during the Boshin War. Kenshin is actually struggling with himself on this one, and even though it's also the case in the original source, the manga, it's not as dark as in the live adaptation movie. The character designers actually choose to make Kenshin a more darker character and not like a goofy one he can be in the manga, which actually works pretty well in the manga, but in real life, not so much. That will maybe break the atmosphere of the entire movie. And I think this was a smart move. But for Lupin III, the actors actually overplay just way too much. But this actually works, because the first few animes episodes I could see of Lupin III, all the characters are pretty dumb and pretty wacky and goofy, whatever adjective you want to throw in there. And it made actually the movie really enjoyable, because it's, hey, we don't give a shit about the realistic aspect, we just want to have fun, and here was our product. Just take it or leave it. And for me, yeah, it works. Also, there's also another aspect I should talk about. It's the cultural aspect of these movies. So, obviously, those live adaptation movies are not targeted to us, Westerners audience, who are maybe more accustomed to like Hollywood stuff you can see, and since it's like recorded in Japanese, and I don't know if those movies actually did well in Japan. I haven't searched that. Maybe that was a good idea to check this out. But I cannot speak. I can only speak for myself here. But in France we have something what we call the nanar, which are actually movies that are so bad, but they are good. just let me explain a little bit. It's just movies that try so much, but don't master the codes, the rules you can have on screenwriting and playing and everything that makes a movie actually. And they made some huge mistakes all over the place. And it's just funny. It's just fun to see for the spectators, and in France we like to watch on nanars quite a lot, like a bit of time, like once a month or something, just to have a good laugh with friends and pretty much like this. So I don't know if it's like a cultural aspect that maybe like the live action movies more than other people from other countries that don't have this specific culture of a nanar or something equivalent. I'm also aware that the Japanese live-action scene is not something that we, Westerners and white people, just are expecting from a movie. But I also quite watch a few of Japanese movies, such as the ones you can see all over the place that will appear by the magic of editing. And but that didn't prevent me from enjoying those movies, both the live actions and the regular traditional movies that are not taken from the manga. It is also true to say that some mangas and light novels are actually quite easier to adapt than others in the live-action movie. If we just go back to the Bleach case, I'm just wondering how will they actually adapt the fight scenes and the characters flying over all over the place. You could just by reading the manga and watching the anime, you can see that everything is Bleach is actually over the top, and this I think would be very hard to render on a live-action movie. Lupin III actually played on those elements, and even if it was a bit like over the top at some times, I think it served like the irony of and the humor of the entire film. So I didn't see it as a nuisance or some sort. So are all live action bad? Well, I guess it's up for you to forge your own opinion, and don't listen to other people sharing their thoughts on the internet or in real life. And this sentence actually made my whole video pointless, but I know it. The important thing is actually to keep a critical mindset and just be curious about stuff. You can listen to other people recommending you shows and stuff and just check it and forge your own opinion on it, saying like, oh, I didn't like this show because that, and I like this show because that. But don't just deem stuff as this thing is bad because I didn't like it. It's actually pretty selfish and pretty bad to say this kind of stuff. If you didn't like something, maybe your neighborhood will like it. So I would like to hear your opinions about the 3 live adaptation movies I talked about in this video. So leave a comment down below if you want to share it to the other people on the internet and start a war with them. Or with me. And I will see you guys for whatever other stuff I make for the next time. So au revoir.